welcome into another edition of Morning Edition. Here we go. We got Annie Satowski, the one and only Ted Payton, Jason Harper here, and Julian. A little under the weather today. We're going to be joined by another special guest here in just a second. We wanted to kick off with something huge, right? The last couple of days, really since last week, we've been talking about a couple things, sanctioning certain high school sports for men and women, volleyball for boys, which was just voted yes, and then flag football for girls. This is huge. So yesterday, the North Carolina High School Athletic Association voted to sanction at the varsity level for women, making North Carolina the 22nd state in the U.S. to have flag football for girls. I'm bringing in Riley Fields with the Carolina Panthers, a good friend of ours.
Good morning,
no one else can rock a sweater vest.
That's true.
Yeah, I'm a little jealous.
Like Riley Fields.
It's the sweater vest of community sincerity.
Oh my gosh.
Put that on a plaque.
Yeah.
For real. All right, Riley, out of the gate, flag football for girls in North Carolina. First of all, this goes beyond just the cool factor. Why is this such a big deal?
It is a big deal, Jason. I think, what we keep talking about, this is transformative change. And, now you've got an opportunity for girls to have access to the sport of football through flag football in a way that they've never had before. And, what the sanctioning vote does, it establishes flag football as a varsity sport for girls, and they're going to have the opportunity to compete for state championships. And, what we've learned over the past 4.5 years as we've worked on the effort to get us to where we are today is that girls want to play. The energy around it, the desire to compete on the football field is something that is undeniable. And so it's just so exciting to just see this moment in time happen and know that the girls who have kind of blazed the trail the past 3 or 4 years and with all the pilot programs that we partner with across the state and what it means to future generations of girls and the opportunities that they're going to have, it's awe-inspiring.
It's really cool. I wish this would have been around when I was in high school, right?
Yeah.
The reason we're having you on, though, is that the David and Nicole Tepper Sports Foundation has announced a $1 million pledge in North and South Carolina, right? Going towards these programs. What exactly will that money help these programs do?
Yeah, just so grateful to the David and Nicole Tepper Foundation. I mean, the support that David and Nicole have given this effort really since jump has been instrumental in the growth that led to the successful vote yesterday. But this new pledge, this new commitment of grant funding is going to provide us with the opportunity to keep providing resources to programs across North and South Carolina. And the grant funding will be used in a variety of ways. One, to assist with schools who are maybe just going to now begin startups of their program. Currently in North Carolina, going into this year, we've got 155 schools committed to play this fall. That number is only going to grow now that we've hit the sanctioning status. In South Carolina, there are currently 55 schools scheduled to play this fall, and that number is skyrocketing, it seems, on a weekly basis. And so we've had the good fortune to be able to support all those programs up to this point. Now we're able to, now that we're across the goal line with sanctioning in North Carolina, continue to have the resources to support schools in a variety of ways. And I think, each school has different needs. And so the way the grant funding will be used to support schools across the region is really going to be done on a case-by-case basis. We're going to let the schools, when they apply, tell us why they need the money, and it's not always a cookie cutter answer to that. But we enjoy giving schools the flexibility to have the resources that works best for their program, and that's what this amazing gift of $1 million in continued grant funding is going to be able to provide for girls and schools across our region.
Yeah, Riley, in my algorithm on Instagram must have been working in
algorithm.
my favorite. Hold on.
Use algorithm in a regular sentence.
Yes, he did.
I don't know if I'm good enough for
You
this
get to swear,
conversation.
man.
Welcome to our world.
Adjust my glasses a little
That's
bit.
right,
Yeah,
right.
but I got to watch some of the clips of the highlights from the girls' flag football, and it is exciting. It is fantastic. The hips don't lie, and neither do the numbers. But
Oh, man.
before you give your point, Riley, I was going to say like the sport is exploding from 2023 to 2024. 42,955 girls playing, 105% increase more than the prior year. And in 2024 to 2025, 68,800 girls more playing, a 60% increase. So this is really exploding, and the Carolinas are really on the forefront of this, as you mentioned earlier.
Yeah, and I think what's really what's been interesting to see as part of that process, when we started back in 2022, and Charlotte-Mecklenburg Schools was the first school district to pilot a district-wide program in the state, and so just we're eternally grateful to Dr. Erica Turner for her vision and willingness to be the first to step forward and make that commitment. Back then, it was just the idea of the girls being out on the field, and it was like, isn't this cool? Isn't this neat? But they were, at that point, they didn't even know how to warm up, how to hold the ball, how to throw. To see the progression of the skill development, the rapid progression of the skill development over the past several years. Now we're going to host the CMS Flag Championships here at Bank of America Stadium in the next couple of weeks. Now you've got quarterbacks who are throwing their receivers open, like throwing to spots, throwing where there doesn't look like there's going to be a play, literally throwing their teammates open. The advancement in terms of the skill level has been remarkable to see, and that only bodes well for where is it going to go, in the future. An interesting tangent to or other element it's interesting with the sanctioning piece is the explosive growth that's happening at the collegiate level in our region. Conference Carolinas, based out of Greenville, was the first Division II NCAA conference to adopt women's flag at the varsity level. They just completed their first season this past spring. The Big South Conference, which is based out of Charlotte, they're the first Division I conference in the NCAA to announce that they're going to adopt women's flag throughout their conference beginning spring of 28. The CIAA, on the heels of that, has announced that they're going full adoption to begin play in spring of 28. So now what you're talking about, originally it was the access and opportunities for girls at the high school level. Now with the explosive growth at the collegiate level, now you're creating an actual pathway for girls to continue their education just through the sport of flag football and the opportunities that that's going to create. So this dynamic growth at the high school level now is being fueled by what's happening at the collegiate level. So again, I keep using that term. This is a transformative moment in time. It is, and it's just so exciting to be a young girl growing up now that maybe loves football but never had the access or the opportunity to the game or exposure to the game. And so that growth that you're talking about, Ted, just coupled with that is the skill level development and how the game is already becoming much more sophisticated in just the limited time that we've been playing it in a pilot program format for the past several years.
Riley, I'm watching some of these girls just in this video that we're showing. I don't think I would want to, it's not tackle, obviously, but a lot of these are making it down to the ground. I don't know that I would want to take on some of these ladies that are out there. They are taking it for real. I want to ask, Annie, you a quick question because you're the only, first of all, D1 athlete that's in our group here this morning as a former gymnast, but also a female that had the opportunity to do what you wanted to do because of the sport and passion you had. what I mean, how can you kind of relate, even though yours was gymnastics,
Yeah.
to some of these girls that are like Riley said, that are now going to have this path open up even through college to be able to do something they love to do?
I think that's great. I mean, when you think about it, women's gymnastics wasn't always a college sanctioned sport, right? Since I was a kid, it was. So I knew that that was a path that I could go towards. But I think for even if we step forward a little bit, the girls coming underneath these high school girls and the ones who maybe play in college can start looking up to them. That's how I got my start, was looking at the people in college, going to college gymnastics meets and saying, hey, and having a coach too who said this could be your path forward. 5 girls make the Olympics every 4 years out of thousands. This is a path for you to do something else. So I think it's great. It's always hard being a trailblazer, but I'm excited for these girls coming up, and the opportunity means everything because you can have this talent and to be able to showcase that and to have someone else validate that and take you seriously for your talents.
Right.
It means a lot, and we know that sports builds confidence for women. I think there's a statistic about women CEOs, almost like 97%, something like that, played college sports or played
Hey,
sports,
I want
something
to,
like that.
if I could,
Yeah,
the
absolutely
point,
right.
the point you just made, the percentage of participation, data is showing that across the region, anywhere from 25 to 50% of the girls that are playing flag in pilot programs, it's the first time they've ever played a high school sport in their high school career. So now, in addition to just the general access, let's take it another step further. Girls are plugging into high school through flag football and engaging in a way that they never have before. So now they're learning to become part of a team. I had a district AD tell me a couple weeks ago, their first season last fall, he had just whole groups of girls who had never been on a team before. They had to learn how to be a teammate. What did that mean? What did it mean to be on a team? You think about how that translates to the rest of their engagement in school and the discipline, all the things that come out of being part of a team, and how that translates to success in the classroom. It translates to success socially, confidence level, self-esteem levels, all those things that are really interesting byproducts of this, when I don't know that getting into it, we really had that thought about how it's going to engage girls who otherwise have not been plugged into school that way. And so I think to your point, getting girls engaged sets their pathway for future success at a higher ratio.
Absolutely.
Well, this is exciting. Again, we've got Riley Fields on, who's with the Panthers. He's been a friend of Queen City News for many, many years. With this exciting announcement of the David and Nicole Tepper Foundation, $1 million on top of the millions that they've already been given to women's and girls flag football. But now that it is an official sanctioned sport for high schoolers in North Carolina, exciting. Thanks for sharing this news with us.
Thanks, Riley.
Can't wait to see the championship coming up in a few weeks, and how we could all partner in this to get women and girls on this exciting path through flag football. We appreciate you, Riley.
Thank you, brother.
Thanks, Riley.
Thanks, y'all. Appreciate the opportunity to talk about share the good news, and look forward to sharing future successes about it.
Us too.
Sounds good. Thank you, Riley.
Yeah,
Take care,
thanks,
my
y'all.
friend. We'll be back with more Morning Edition right after this.
Welcome back to Morning Edition. We have a new player entering the chat today. Jason Harper had Jason Harper things to do, so we kicked him out of here. Great interview with Riley there. We loved having him. But we're sticking with the sports theme. We have Truist, the first round of the Truist Championship, teeing off at Quill Hollow Club here in Charlotte. And coincidentally, we've had all this time with no rain, and now it has done nothing but rain. Ted's looking off in the distance, looking for somewhere that he wishes he could go. We really need this, though. Honestly, like, I've been so happy to see this. The timing is just not good, but you know what? The PGA Championship saw weather delays in their Saturday round, and then back when it was Wells Fargo, the first 2 rounds actually got impacted by weather. So this is kind of par for the course.
Ooh, I see what you did there. You know what's so funny is Brandon Lawson, our other meteorologist yesterday, was talking about, he's a huge NASCAR guy.
Mhm.
And he was like, every time NASCAR goes to these tracks where there's a drought or there hasn't been rain,
Mhm.
guess what happens?
Mm-hmm.
It rains. So we're here. But again, by the time people are watching this episode of Morning Edition, I think we're going to be potentially an hour into tee off. That's supposed to start around noon today on Thursday, the 7th.
Oh, so the
Is it 11?
it's 11. Unless it got pushed back again, Austin.
It could
the last
I should know better than to question a former producer.
Yeah, we try and stay up to date, but who knows?
no.
Yeah. While you look up the latest, I will say we've had the rain overnight.
Tell us.
Radar as of right now still pulling in some light showers. We've eased up on the heaviest rain, so the greens are still going to be saturated. Really, no way around it from all the showers that we had overnight. But there's still chances of pop-up showers and isolated storms that can come into play later on this afternoon and evening. I'm thinking around 5 o'clock to dinner time. So if you are watching this and you're also trying to watch round 1 of the Truist Championship, just be on the lookout for the chance of those storms that could roll in. It does get dicey for the rest of the weekend as well. I think we're going to be good on Friday. Friday's looking pretty good.
Yeah.
But early Saturday morning, I'm watching some returns of showing the potential for some rain. And then late Sunday in the afternoon and evening, we could see some isolated storms. So
Right at the end.
I know, a dicey weekend. We've gone a stretch of below rain levels pretty much. We're in a deficit of 1 to 2 inches for the past 30 days, over 5 to 10 inches rather for the last year.
Yeah.
So we need the rainfall, but a lot of folks are probably thinking to themselves, does it have to be now?
Right. Does it have to be
Unfortunately,
now?
yeah.
And to update you all again, the gates open at 10:30. Tea
Okay.
time. First one is 11.
Bring your
Okay.
poncho.
Bring your poncho.
Bring your
But again,
poncho.
like you were saying, Ted, it's tomorrow, round 2, Saturday, probably okay.
Yeah, I think tomorrow for the most part I mean, if you're going to be there spectating, tomorrow's going to be the best day to be out
Okay.
there,
Ooh, perfect.
right? Friday's going to be the best day to be out there.
Okay.
Saturday, I'm seeing some potential for rain early in the day. And depending how that sets up, could be a quick blast of a shower or a quick storm, or it could be a little bit more of a long, drawn-out morning impact, which would have more impacts on Saturday's play. But I'm thinking Friday's the best day to be out there, and then Sunday should be dry in the first half of the day. It's the
Okay.
afternoon you need to watch out for
Right
storms.
when the round is ending and
Yeah.
you crown a champion for
Yeah.
the true
Speaking of that,
championship.
Annie, is there anyone in particular that you are like a player you might be following?
Normally it's Scotty Scheffler, the boogeyman.
not there.
He is not playing. I haven't really gotten to dig into as to why. But I'm trying to think who I would like. We know that Cam Young, we said it all yesterday. He's coming off a big win. He's been pretty hot the past couple of tournaments. Rory McIlroy obviously winning his second Masters.
Which, if people are coming off watching the Masters, there's usually a big, I don't want to say revival, but there's a lot of renewed interest in golf for people who are not like diehard followers.
Yeah.
And so maybe people are coming out to see Rory.
Maybe they are. I think he is a fan favorite, and historically, he does play well at Quail Hollow Club. He kind of calls it his second home. When we did host the PGA Championship last year, though, he did not fare so well. A lot of people were. Rory would say, "We don't talk about that. We don't talk about the PGA Championship." But I think. I don't know.
I mean, Xander is one to
Xander
watch.
Schauffele is always one to watch. I have
Legit.
my favorites. Max Homa is one of my personal favorite golfers just because I think he's so funny on social media. He's been doing a little bit better. Colin Morikawa is also having a good season. He's kind of he rode the highs when he was, really, really young, and then he was kind of been like hanging out in the middle, maybe towards the end of the pack, and I've seen him do a lot better this year. So I'm looking forward to seeing who wins. But Cam Young's got the hot hand right now.
I will see. I am not putting actual money because I don't do sports betting, but if I figurative sports betting, Xander.
Xander, okay.
I think so. I mean, look, he's coming in with a bunch of, I think, top fives or 5 consecutive rounds. Excuse me, and like he's been shooting in the 60s. He's been doing really well. Again, he is he's a twice runner-up.
Yeah.
And always a
He's
bridesmaid,
always
never the bride.
Yes, always this close.
Yeah.
And we went to the President's Cup when we hosted a couple of years ago, and he's the one that clinched the title for USA with a massive putt. So I will always think of him in that way as just like a clinch person. So we'll see. But the purse for this, guys, is $20 million.
Oh,
I shouldn't
Not
give
for the
enough
winner.
fan
That's for
golf.
like all you know,
Yeah, it
all
gets
encompassing.
split, yeah.
Okay, yeah,
But I
yeah,
don't.
yeah, but
I'll
still.
have to go look and see what the top prize is by
Take a
piece.
piece
The
of that.
overall purse is $20 million. So
Still
you
piece.
just got to make the cut. You got to make it past Thursday and Friday, and then you'll be getting some money.
I love that. So one fun fact I actually learned about Quail Hollow today. So I know if people are golfers, they're going to be like, Austin, you just learned about this, but
It's okay.
the Green Mile. Are you
Yeah.
guys familiar? Okay,
Yes.
the last 3 holes.
Yes.
The toughest 3 finishing holes in the PGA Tour for the last, like 20 something years, 2 decades.
It's tough.
How many balls do you think have been found in the water on those
Oh,
last
this is like a
3
real one?
holes?
2,456,000.
No.
No. Wait, in just
I'm
in a
talking
year
in
or
PG
like?
No, in the since 2003,
Okay.
the 3-hole stretch, 16, 17, 18.
Okay.
PGA Tour.
Okay.
We're not talking
Like
through a general
regular
public.
play,
No, no. We're talking the pros.
I would track my answer.
100?
More,
More.
way more.
Ooh.
Ted, you got an actual
I
guess?
feel like
Ted?
there's a comma. Yeah, an actual. Well, first I was thinking general public.
There's 1 comma.
Oh,
I
okay.
think
Give you
it's-
that.
Ooh,
Yeah,
That's a lot.
I wish I had the Jeopardy theme music. To play.
man, like 3,400.
Little okay.
That was
it
3
it
seconds.
is
It's fine.
1,888.
Oh,
1,800.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
So
was
we'll
shot it.
see if they can conquer that
Keep those out of the water.
this
Maybe not
weekend.
today.
But
It's raining.
again, like Ted was saying, if you're going today, good luck. Bring a poncho. If you're going tomorrow,
Your
enjoy the beautiful
galoshes.
weather. Saturday should be okay, but Sunday, if you're heading for the final round,
We'll see.
we'll see. But guys, we are going to be talking Spirit Airlines after the break. We know Spirit. I know jazz hands. Thank you. There is one guy who wants to turn them into kind of like the Green Bay Packers in a way and bring them back. We'll talk about it on the other side of the break. You're watching Morning Edition. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to Morning Edition. We are flying through this
Oh
episode.
my
You guys see
God.
what I did there, right? Because what's not flying, unfortunately, Spirit Airlines
Womp womp.
grounded. Yeah, suspending operations, shutting down earlier this week. But hold on.
Hold up.
Hold on. We're performing CPR. Specifically, Hunter Peterson's performing CPR, launching a TikTok viral post, Let's Buy Spirit campaign with a crowdfunding site. It's exploded. It's got tens of millions in non-binding pledges.
Allegedly.
Yeah.
Allegedly. So folks are jumping on, instead of the bandwagon, I guess they're jumping on the Spirit jet, trying to take this thing off.
Trying to
the
revive it.
tarmac.
I had no
Yeah.
idea so many people loved Spirit. So
Well, I know we have
It-
one coworker who takes Spirit down to Florida to see his significant other.
Oh,
And
okay.
his concern,
Mm.
and this is some data-driven stuff, where when Spirit or another low-cost airline leaves a market
Mhm.
and there's no competition for a route, other airlines will do the thing that they probably will do, which is raise prices.
Mhm.
So he's a little concerned. But again, like Ted, you're saying, this guy, Hunter Pearson, setting up a kind of a crowdfunding website. We
Mhm.
talked about in the tease, he wants to mirror it, kind of like how the Green Bay Packers operates, where, as a group, as a collective, we can all own shares.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Again, I think
I
it's
don't want
like,
shares of Spirit.
Nah, I'm all right. But
Sorry.
I think it's was it Let's Buy Spirit or something, the
Yeah.
website.
Yeah.
It's
He-
like, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say he claims to have raised, as of an audit as of yesterday, Wednesday, May 6th, $214 million by 247,511 pledgers. The average pledge, my little alarm is going off, is
Uh-huh.
$865.
I called BS.
That
on
is like
There's
10
no
Spirit
way.
tickets.
There's no way. I think
Ooh.
I thought those were only like pledges. Like these are people who are pledging to
Yes.
fund, but you're saying those are actual people who have already given money.
It's what it's saying on there. The average pledge. That's
Okay.
the lingo. it
The
uses.
minimum is $45 because that was like a one-way fare.
Mhm.
I just don't believe it.
I don't know.
I just don't see it happening. Obviously, there are so many loopholes, and May we had her talking about this. They're going to have to reapply for certification, so they're going to have to go through all of that. I don't think people understand. It's always like, oh, all these companies have so much money. They do, but it costs so much money to run an airline. It costs
Yeah.
so much money to run a company. Depending on what your margins are too, you may have really low margins and you're not actually making that much money, but it costs a lot to run these things. So,
Mhm.
Well, it's kind of like
sure, if you get all this money, like how long is that going to last? Are you willing to pledge X amount of dollars
Yeah.
for every
Consistently.
month consistently in order to keep the airline afloat? My guess is no.
no.
Yeah.
I mean,
They will.
it's a good idea in theory. I mean, but it's not like remember the Bring Back the Buzz campaign Were y'all here for this?
Mm.
Oh, I get to school you as a North Carolina native. So when the Hornets became the Bobcats,
Okay.
Oh,
okay, there was a lot of
Wait, they were the Hornets first, then the Bobcats, and no, the Hornets
yes,
again?
Yes. So in college, I went to App State. We had a guy there who was part of this campaign called Bring Back the Buzz. And again, it was a campaign that went viral, and we're talking in like 2012 viral terms here, back when like the
Oh.
Harlem Shake was like a thing and
Oh
plump.
my gosh, I can
Do
hear
the
it.
You can hear,
shit.
yeah.
Mm-mm.
So again, similar to that, you applaud the effort, but like you're saying, there's so many legal issues here.
Yeah.
It's so complex compared to just a website where it's like, hey, we want to raise. By the way, they want to raise 1.75 billion
Would it
With a
be?
B.
with a B. Capital
Would it
B.
be?
I mean,
It's
I'm just gonna let my face do it here.
I think
Yeah.
grassroots efforts are great, and I think that they can obviously do a lot and force
Yeah.
change, but this ain't it.
Yeah.
It's not gonna.
To Annie's point, I mean, I think the average number I read a while ago of like how much the airlines make per ticket
Mhm.
per passenger is like $7 or $8, right?
Yeah.
Like per ticket. I guess you pay
Margins
a
are
lot, but like they
slim.
make like $8, which is why they're trying to upsell you the liquor on the plane and everything like that.
Do they get liquor on Spirit?
I don't know if they do liquor on
You get
Spirit,
nothing.
but
I was gonna say,
You get a
gotta-
seat,
you gotta
you'll
pay
like
for all
it.
your add-ons.
is
but-
it a C?
I shared a stat earlier, and I said, okay, with about 55,000 to 65,000 people paying $45 a month, you could sustain an airline. Correction, you could sustain a single aircraft.
Oh,
One plane.
aircraft.
One plane.
Not even like does that count the fuel?
Probably not.
See?
Anyway, no, including crew, fuel,
Okay.
hangar fees,
You get
and
one
insurance.
plane.
One plane.
yeah.
Just one. Now, if you're talking a full airline like Spirit, you need operating expenses of $5 billion. So you need 9.2 million people to pledge
Consistently.
consistently.
Yeah. that's
About
not
30% of the
And
United
in this room, how many of us are pledging?
All
All right, we'll go back to the
Crickets.
we'll go back to the full shot.
This many people.
that,
Zero
that
people.
many.
I flew Spirit one time. It was a
Same.
fine experience.
Yeah, it wasn't
But I
bad.
literally have one duffel bag that I bought specifically so I
Small
could take
one.
it on a Spirit flight
Yeah.
because, if I wanted to take a carry-on roll-on, another
Yeah.
like $100 to do it. Like,
Listen, Spirit Airlines is all business. All
Yeah.
right,
Listen, no, I would
All
just say
business.
you're just there
Spirit
sitting. and
was
go.
appropriately named because you got to travel with your spirit and nothing else. That's all you got to carry with you.
oh, that's a good one, Ted.
You know
I
what?
think that's it.
I think that's it, guys.
That's it.
I
That's
think
all
we're
we
out of
got.
time. This has been wonderful. Thank you for letting me sit in with you
Thanks,
two wonderful
Austin.
people on this another exciting, thrilling episode of Morning Edition.
Queen City News Plus. Just search Queen City News on your smart TV's app store.